Hello, everybody. Today is day 2 of the character creation challenge, and I needed to do an easy and quick one. So I decided to do Torg, the original game from 1990, because whenever I game mastered Torg, I always had my character or my players choose a character based off of the templates, and that makes it easy. There's no rolling dice or anything. You just choose a template, add a few things, and you can go. Now, there are variable rules on how you can do things yourself and completely create a character from scratch, but I always thought to get people in it really fast, and there was tons of templates. As you can see, this was all the different templates from all the different books in Torg, that it was just really easy. So in preparation for the Orrorsh crowdfunding that starts on Game On Tabletop next week, the 26th, I will be decided I will make an Orrorsh character. So as you can see up here, here's some Orrorsh characters. And if you notice, basically in all my about 23 years of game mastering Torg, the original, anytime somebody would play a template, I would put a little tick next to it. And then, whoops, Mars hears my voice and decides he needs to show his presence. But basically, anytime somebody played a character template, I would put a little tick mark next to it, and I tried not to let too many people play the same thing over and over and over. So normally it was like a one-time thing, unless you could give me a really good reason why you would be a 2. And then I basically didn't allow things after 2. So I'm gonna go. If I look up there at the Orrorsh, nobody had ever chosen the Regimental Soldier template, so that's the one that I'm going to use. And Mars kind of kicked my setup I had under this, but this basically is what in the back of the books. A lot of them, they would have these templates that on one side was kind of information. You could either choose to use it or not use it as you felt like it. A picture, and then it had equipment that would be listed, and then on the other side would be kind of a miniature form of the character sheet. On different books, usually later, what they did was they would have 2 of these on one side, and then on the reverse they would have 2 of this. So they would have 2 different characters. But these actually kind of, when it was all on one page, you could just print it out and start a new character really fast. Now, as you see, statistics are already filled in. They usually add up to, they're supposed to add up to 66. I'll say that. On a few character sheets, they gave people a couple more points or 1 or 2 points. So, and I was never sure if they did that on accident or if it was something that they just wanted. But one of the things that I always use as a house rule is normally when you made a character, any skills counted as unskilled if you did not have ads in them. Like this is a 3 ad right here. But what I always allowed was anything that would be on this template I counted as being used as being skilled when dice were rolled and values totals were determined. So basically, if you didn't get something in everything, you still got what was on the template as something to kind of round out your character. And I allowed that with templates as also a benefit to the players who were like, hey, I really would like to make my own character. Okay, but then you just get the skills that you start with. You don't get the skills that you don't have ads in. That was just a way, like I said, I thought it was easy. Now, I'm not saying at all that all templates were equivalent to all templates. There were some that were just much more powerful than other ones, but it did keep out a lot of the Game Master May I type thing. Mars is, as you can see, hiding behind there, so that's all that noise is. It's him deciding he needs to be involved and biting corners and whatever else he feels like doing. So basically, I already have my attributes, so I don't have to worry about that. Here is the Orrorsh, and I already got my home cosm. My starting possibilities will be 10. Magic, Spirit, Tech. Mars, you're really going to have to go. Sorry. Social, Tech, all that information's already there. So basically, what I will do is I will like over here, I can write my name, because I can know that right away. And then I want to come up with a character name. So he's a regimental soldier. So let's make him a sergeant. So he'll be Sergeant Benjamin Waterson the Third. I might have to write that up here. Waterson the Third. Just some. I guess here has a player name too. I can write down, and then I can pick his age. So I'll make him an older character. So let's say that he's maybe a little bit younger than me. So let's make him 44. Let's make him 5'11", and let's give him like 195 pounds. So we have that. Then what in Torg you do, so I got all the name and everything. In Torg, you would have 16 ads that you could fill in here. The tag skill, which his is fire combat, would be 3. And then everything, nothing could go above that 3. Everything else pretty much needed to do a 2 or less. Reality, you at least had to put 1 point in to be a Storm Knight character, a reality rated character. So I'm going to go ahead and put him as 2. I want him not to start completely only with the minimum reality. So then let's look at things that might be interesting. So I already got 5 points here, so I have 11 more points to spend. Well, if he ever he has a 19th century type rifle, so he might, and he has bayonets and swords and stuff, so let's go ahead and at least give him 1 point in melee weapon. So that's up to 6. Let's also give him a point in unarmed combat, so 7. Land vehicles could be interesting. That could cover everything from a coach or wagon all the way up to cars. He might disconnect doing cars, but the land vehicles would allow him to at least try. So let's put a 1 in there. Tracking could be useful for a soldier, so let's do a 2 in there. Same for survival. If I look down here, his big skill is toughness and dex. So maneuver, let's use maneuver as one of his good interaction skills. So let's put a 2 there. So let me go ahead and do a quick count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I need 2 more points. Let's give him a Faith Sakellum. One of the rules in the original Torg is if you see a miracle performed that is like the highest level, and I'm sorry, I can't remember if it was spectacular or superior. I think it might have been spectacular. You could instantly be converted and be forced to spend possibilities to buy that faith of whatever that miracle was that you saw. So a good defense against that would be to make sure that you had faith in one of the religions. And so I went ahead and I decided to do that here. And then let's go ahead and make intimidation 1 also. That sounds good. So we'll just, should be 16, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I got 16. And then if you just go over, and 2 plus his spirit. And if you look down here, the spirit is 10, so that's a 12. And then fire combat's already done. Melee weapons, 1 in dex would be a 12. 1 in dex over here would be a 12. 1 in perception. His perception is an 8. So that's 9. A 2 in perception would be a 10. His mind is an 8. So survival would be a 10. And his spirit is, again, a 10. So faith and intimidation would be 11. I have now, if I wanted to, these all, like, if you used my house rule that allowed all of these to be used, even if I did not have ads in them, I could go ahead and say beast riding was dex, so that's an 11. And then I guess I missed melee weapons, so melee weapons, I got caught off guard. That's what happened. So double check your work. Dex is 11, so the 2 plus Dex is a 13, and this is a 12. 11. Strength is 10, so that would be a 10. That would be a 10. They kind of, as you see, except for reality, which everybody has to have. So it's at the reality, which everybody has to have, which is at the top. They go down kind of the order of the attribute that's mainly associated with them. So dex is first, strength, and then perception. So when I'm going through this, I can just look and I'm at the perception. So as long as I'm doing perception, I'm just going to add 8. So an 8, and his mind was 8 as well. Charisma was 8. So now I have a character fully made with all of his skills. His weapons and everything are already down here. His armor, he doesn't have any. And then I could figure out the limit values, but those would aren't really used as much unless you're trying to in-game move past things. There would be a certain amount that you had and what the value would be, how the maximum that you could go, like running and swimming and jumping and things like that. So here we go. We have a Sergeant Benjamin Watterson III, the regimental soldier from Orrorsh. And thank you for watching. That is the day 2 of the character creation challenge.